It's spawning as our Liquid Protoss. The score is now 1-1. He just has to win this and he goes to the grand finals. It is LiquidHerO in the lower left. Give it up for the Tyrant, guys. The Teal Zerg. It is Evil Genius's Jaedong. And if you guys think you might like this stream, genuinely, if you guys genuinely like the stream, please go ahead and hit that follow button. Not saying this because, oh, we need more viewers or something like that. This is my own personal stream that I'm using at the live event. And if you guys think you would like to hear me when I'm not sick, by all means, go ahead and follow. And, oopsie. There we go. Oopsie. Okay, we're good to go. Set up and everything. And thus far, Jaedong's going with perfectly normal opener, and so too do we have LiquidHerO. But I'm leaning towards saying he might be going with some kind of a Forge Fast Expand. Alternatively, I've seen him play versus Jaedong yesterday, and on this map particularly, he went for 3 gateways in this particular location. Gonna be pull first. Jaedong learned his lesson after game number 1. He doesn't want to risk anything like that, and LiquidHerO is willing to try and take the risks of a cannon rush if he should ever have the opportunity to capitalize on it. But at the same time, you know, it's not like it's going to set him back, because the Forge Fast Expand, if I'm not mistaken, actually gives a Protoss a little bit more economy than a 3-gate opener. Game number 1, I wasn't able to read into it adequately, but HerO was actually playing mind games. Was dropping frames. Great. Hang on, let me check here. Okay, done dropping frames now. So, Digmouse, tech support expert. There's always going to be some dropped frames, guys. I apologize. But check this out. HerO cannot cannon rush Jaedong safely now. Can, however, get his own economy going a little bit safer if he wanted to. But at the same time, his tech up is a little bit delayed by the Forge Fast Expand. By going for a Forge as opposed to a Gateway, you delay the timing of your Cybernetics score. And thus, by delaying the timing of your Cybernetics core, you're also delaying the timing of your tech up into, say, Stargate or Blink Stalkers or whatever else you may be choosing. In game number 1, when we saw LiquidHerO playing against Jaedong in an ordinary game, I guess you'd call it, we saw, ooh, nice last-minute sack there. We saw that he was going for Blink Stalkers, and that was not at all delayed by his gateway timings, but at the same time, they were not supplemented with upgrades that are necessary from a Forge. He did actually give Jaedong a real spin for his money, though, because a real run for his money, because he kept on making Jaedong think that he was going for a third base, when in reality he was not. Alright, so the natural nexus is there. Main nexus is there. Just about getting there with saturation. Cybernetics core going down in the back. I like the safe location that it's at right now, but this is kind of a semi-Artosis pylon, if you will. Because if this one gets knocked out, so too does the Cybernetics core. Not that we're going to see a big rush at any moment in the game in the near future anyway. I guess you could say this is just a chapter of mind games, and that's about it. And right now I'm trying to use a very soft-spoken voice because I don't want to start coughing on stream. But if I see that play-by-play is real, guess what? I'm going to do it. Stargate coming down from LiquidHerO. Third Queen coming out now from Jaedong. And this is basically the ordinary mix of a very macro-oriented game. But is there any other tech up coming with HerO? Is he going to throw down more gateways? That kind of thing. I don't see any indication thereof, so this leads me to believe that maybe we're going to see... Also, if we look at where the Chrono Boost is going right now, none of it's getting put on the Cybernetics score whatsoever. So I think what we see LiquidHerO doing for the time being is simply trying to try and find a way to get a third base. He's going for an Oracle right now. There's going to be a few Speedlings out on the map from Jaedong, and that's what's going to give him a little bit of map control. Teeny bit. This one's Sentry way out here in the forward position. Nah. No. He's going for the third. Isn't he? Isn't he? Isn't he? Come on. What's this all about? Okay, he was trying to find the Overlord. And I guess Jaedong was trying to use that as the quote-unquote retard magnet, if you will. But of course, the Overlord didn't spot that sentry, so mind games at a whole new level. Kappa, 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 kappa. Jimmy's wrestled. He does see the third, however, and he knows it's real. It's not a fake out by any means. Check out in the background, there are no gateways. And the Oracle's arrived, getting quite a few drone kills thus far. Room to get a few more, but doesn't want to risk being burned by the Queen. 5 drones fell in that attack. Now look at that. Hydra's Den going down behind this. I want to say that in the position that we see HerO in right now, I think the way to correctly counter this is exactly get the robotics facility out. Double Oracle. Well, that's enough to take down a Queen as well as quite a few drones. Let's see how he uses this in the near future. But first I want to see, he does not see this. The Oracles have arrived at the third, getting quite a few more worker kills. They're just going to focus them down one at a time. Click, 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 click. Boom, boom, boom. 9 more workers killed. So I don't want to say that, you know, HerO has an astounding lead. I wouldn't say astounding by any means, but definitely rustling some of them Jaedong jimmies. Okay. There we go. More gateways going down in the background. Altogether, I think let's bring it to 5 plus the 1 over here. That's going to bring it to 6. Is there a forward pylon coming from the HerO? Like, for the time being, no. So, I guess you could say he hasn't really found a staging grounds just yet, but at the same time, he hasn't moved out with his main army. And his main army, at present, consists of only 3 sentries. Look at the army supply right now. The difference, it's minimal. Consists of mostly just a few queens and speedlings out on the map for Jaedong. But he's already rushing into Hive Tech. Wow. And he's thrown down his 4th base. Both players are going to try and just get their way into the late game. And I say that the rush to Hive Tech from Jaedong is to get Vipers into the mix, but I can't say with 100% certainty why, other than to perhaps yank out a few Void Rays, maybe an Immortal here or there, maybe even throw down some Blinding Clouds. That's what's going to work so well versus LiquidHerO in this position. And I feel like HerO, he just doesn't have the AoE it's going to take to deal with it. He's done some damage, yes, but not quite enough, I feel. Killing workers while simultaneously, what's the word I'm looking for? Killing workers while simultaneously forcing larva would probably be the best way of, you know, annoying the Dong, but, or not really annoying the Dong, but really, how do I say this, bringing the game to a definitive draw. But it just looks like the damage being done by HerO for the time being really isn't enough. He sees all these gateways, and now he's going to see even more in production with this one Overseer. Look at this. Throws down Contaminate on the Twilight Council. I like that. He actually forces a delay onto charge. But at the same time, I feel like this is a very dangerous... I don't feel like the army from HerO is going to be all that dangerous, is the real thing that I'm trying to say here. He's only going to have AoE in the form of Psionic Storm, and that's it. That can be effective versus Hydras, very effective. And not only that, the High Templar will be able to actually feed back the Vipers, so I mean that's one advantage he's going to get. Void Ray's been hunting down some Overlords wherever they could, just denying some of that Dong vision, if you will. Revelation going down on these 4 Hydras, and that's it, but I mean it's only 4, and we're approaching the late game once you stop and think about it. I'm not sure if that makes a big difference. Roach speed just about to finish up, and it's going to be Roach, Hydra, Viper, in case you guys couldn't tell already. Jaedong hitting 192 supply. He's ready to just go in and kill HerO at this moment. I feel like... I have been wrong before, but I feel like HerO just hasn't done enough damage. I'm trying not to be biased by any means, but I feel like the things that HerO needed to do, put himself ahead, just haven't been done yet. Here we go. Blinding Cloud goes down on the High Templar. A couple of yoinks, one onto the Mothership Core and the other onto a Void Ray. The Immortal's getting yoinked back as well. The the roaches and hydras on the ground are going to eat them alive. I can't say what just happened there. I didn't see any. Oh my god, the yank on that warp prism was good as well. But I mean, the storms have got to be perfect and then some from HerO if he hopes to survive this wave. I mean, Jaedong's at 200, 200. He's getting double Spire behind this. And if we don't see LiquidHerO just straight out lose this, he's going to be in for a world of hurt as he tries to claw his way back into a game that's going to be, you know, a miracle and nothing short if he does manage to pull out the win. 5th base going down for Jaedong. 4th for HerO. Yoinks, yoinks, yoinks galore. Even the Archons do not survive. +2/+2 now on the way for LiquidHerO. Or excuse me, Jaedong rather. Few Hydras cut out here, and it looks like HerO may have just the right army composition to chase down his opponent, but even without AoE, he's doing a good job. But wait a minute, a handful of units coming over here to attack the 3rd. It looks like a clutch hold between the Oracle and all of the units that were here. HerO's able to secure that 4th base for the time being. But as we see him get closer and closer to his opponent's home base, guess what? That means he's getting closer and closer to the reinforcement line. About 3 Zealots going to go down to the 5th base here, and I think they're going to get Jaedong off of HerO's back. Apologies for that rapid clicking, if you will. Oracle here, my god. Here we go. Looks like that 5th base is going to survive. There's 3 Stargates that are done, and they're cranking out Phoenixes for LiquidHerO. As the supply count rises, I think that this is a game that HerO might be able to take. But oh my god, the High Templar feedback of Viper and a nice storm. Another follow-up storm, very well done. And that 3rd one is pretty okay. This is going to be pretty good. The 5th base getting picked off behind this. Looks like the Zealots were not able to take down this 5th base. I meant to say 6th rather here. That was not canceled, which is kind of a hefty loss there for Jaedong. But as you can see now, this game is now no longer clear-cut. I don't feel like if Jaedong had gone straight up that ramp about 5 minutes ago, he would have straight up won. But it would have been one of the threshold opportunities that he did have to win. 2 High Templars with storms here. Are they going to go down? The force fields are real. The storms in back are hitting the Hydras and the Roaches. And it looks like maybe, just maybe, LiquidHerO is going to be able to hold his 5th. But that's a Jaedong that has 30 supply of a lead over HerO. And he's dividing up his army. We're going to have to see a perfect storm here. Nice hold at the 4th base for our blue Protoss. Aeonian Pulse Crystals are done. A few Stalkers are sent out in the middle of the map. I'm not sure what for, but the Phoenixes will definitely take the Dong by surprise. He's ready for the Muta switch, or at least the Mutalisk getting integrated into the mix. Nice little, I guess you'd say, harass here. I didn't see what it was just now. I really did not. I apologize. But it's such a big map. Here we go. Roaches and Hydras are going to work their way into the 4th base along with the Mutas. I don't think we're going to see HerO hold this all that well. The Blinding Cloud going down on top of all of those Stalkers now blinking out, trying to get to a position where they can attack. The Phoenixes now arrive to the party. Is it too late is the real question. They've got enough energy to pick up any units on the ground should that be necessary. In fact, they will do it, but they fly straight into the Mutas. It looks like HerO will be able to hold his ground for the time being. He's just got to micro those Mutas, or excuse me, Phoenixes rather, a little bit better. Colossus coming in to join the fray as well. Jaedong loses a ton of supply there. 8 workers fall in the background. Nexus Cannon activated, and it looks like HerO made a, I don't know how else to say it. It was like a 2-for-1 exchange. It was really brilliant there by our Liquid Protoss. He was preparing for the Muta switch long in advance, long in advance, long in advance. And look at the harass happening in the background. This is worth his time. All right. So what does he do to continue carrying on this game? Just checking everything out over here. Oh no, he's flying between all the Hydras, loses about 4, maybe 5 Phoenixes there. Now, yeah, it looks like it was 11 Phoenixes since he started making them. A little run by here to did not do too terribly much damage. And a 5th base is started by our Liquid Pro. Lots of Hydras on the ground here. Lots of them. I don't know. I think 200 Hydras can be very dangerous when you stop and look at it from a theoretical perspective. There are Colossus coming into the mix for HerO right now, in case you guys didn't notice. And those are very effective for mopping up Hydras on the ground. Extended Thermal Lance is also only now at about 22 minutes in the game getting there. I won't question it because HerO's managed to survive this long. He's doing really well. +2/+2 air attack and Carapace has just finished for our Zerg. +3 ground Carapace is going to finish up for him in about 20 seconds. Vision has been granted, if you will. Phoenix is going to come down here and harass that 4th base of the Dong, and I think this is maybe a slight mistake. He might want to use these to actually defend, but Jaedong's just going to break into the 4th base. Big warp in here. Only 2 Colossus with this entire army. HerO knows not to make this mistake. He knows what not to do. The Phoenixes are all out of energy for the time being, and that is a ton of workers he's killed thus far in this game. It looks like the 4th base is under attack. There's just too much happening here for me to actually observe everything. This is absolutely insane, the amount of damage we see happening. 38 workers killed by our boss toss from Liquid. Look at this. The 6th base, the 7th base, whatever you want to call it, is being taken down here. I don't think we're going to see Jaedong in this game for too much longer. Late game Protoss seems as though it can be almost inconquerable. Jaedong supply blocked for a short time, now relieves himself with a few overlords, getting +3 flyer, attack, and Carapace right now. He's got the economy for it. He's got the bank. Now he just needs to figure out how to spend his resources. This top left base is going to fall just as the 4th did. Okay, so now LiquidHerO might be forced into a position. He's backed into a corner that I think he may not want to fight with. Look at what he's got. 90 probes right now. If you look at the upper right-hand corner, 90 probes. That is more than he needs. That's a lot more than he needs. He overproduced on many of them. I don't think he realizes this. That actually hurts his army supply a teeny bit, but at least it's not 100 probes. Look at the Phoenixes. Crazy the amount of harass they're doing. Altogether, I'd say maybe... Oh, wow, the yoinks, the yoinks, the yoinks. He says, I don't care. I want those out of the game. Small segment of that army will be thrown at this 5th base to try and get it out of commission. I don't think that's going to work, though. There's simply too much here. 3 spine crawlers versus this many blink stalkers, I think, is more than enough. Roaches are going to have free reign on this area. Yet again, I don't know if he has burrow or not. The Dong, that is. But he does not. He simply threw them at that location. He's going to see, of course, the mothership is morphing, or excuse me, warping in right now. And a nice, beautiful storm on top of all those roaches. But the bigger story is HerO has a 4th base. Checking the economy right now, you can see it in the upper right-hand corner. HerO's kind of shot in the way of income compared to Jaedong, but at the same time, Jaedong's got a massive bank, and I think he's waiting for another huge Mutalisk switch after taking down all of his opponent's Phoenixes. Or so he thinks. Just look at the resources right now. Compare the army supplies. Jaedong's got a much, much lower army supply. I think if he remaxes on Mutas, as soon as he kills his opponent's main army, he might be okay. But he's also going to need things to filter that out, like Corruptors. The Stalkers here are just focusing down the hatchery here. They don't quite get it. And +3/+3 is very close to finishing. Nice target fire onto this base to the west by LiquidHerO. He's putting himself ahead in some ways, but at the same time, look at this. Jaedong's ready to trade armies completely. Once he gets rid of all these Hydras, he's going to go straight into Mutas, I think. He's got 26 in production, as you can plainly see. Now up to 34. And then what? And then what? And then what? And then what? That's the real question. Stalkers are remaining over here to try and kill whatever they can. And now I think what we actually see here from Jaedong is actually helping HerO just a little bit. He's alleviating his probe count just a little bit. But look at the undefended 4th base and 5th base here from HerO. I mean, I think that many Mutas, they're going to be able to just absolutely wreck house. 18 more on the way in the background. Look at this. Versus this handful of Phoenixes, he says, that's your fleet? This is my flock. Come and deal with it, bro. Oh, man. Those stalkers died. There wasn't even anything to indicate that they were going to die. Storms on top of all of those mutas in combination with the phoenixes might just be enough to hold the ground here. That was... I don't know how many mutas were killed. There's 9 corruptors on the way. So it looks like from the start, 41 mutas have been lost. Huge shout out to Digmouse for helping me observe. That's great. Alright, so that's a lot of dong right there, guys. That is almost 48 mutalisks. If we check that out right now, that's 44. And 9 corruptors are going to be accompanying this army as well. There's a few hydras on the ground. 9 corruptors, I think, should be maybe able to deal with these phoenixes, but I believe they have the pulse crystals upgrade. Indeed, they do, which means the corruptors are not going to have quite the amount of DPS that they will versus the phoenixes. But at the same time, we have 0 upgrades for LiquidHerO and his air army. So that's one thing that, you know, his stifling economy isn't helping right now. DTs can be out on the field at almost any given moment. Targets down the robo, but I mean, Colossi were never a big tool in HerO's shed anyway. Oh my god, the mutas! Getting chased down, the corruptors as well. And I mean, this is something that Jaedong can't really fight head on, but he's building a bank. And I think he's going to be able to invest some of it into static defenses. It would also be great for him to go ahead and get some Vipers into the mix as well, at least more of them. Oh my god, he's flying right over the Archons. Not a great idea. And guess what? The mutas are slowly dissipating. He's trying to use the static defenses here, but I don't think it's going to work out. Look at this. Oh my god, beautiful storm onto the mineral line as well as the mutas and some of the corruptors here as well. Few alleviated drones here. I don't know who is slated to win this game right now, but I mean, Jaedong could probably potentially take it into a base race scenario, but sooner or later he's going to have to fight these phoenixes head on, and that's the real story. Look at that. 5th base falls. This one's being picked off, and it looks like we have a total base race happening. Yeah, Jaedong just says, I want to get your economy shot. I've already got a bank. What can you do about it? Alleviating some of these probes from LiquidHerO just a little bit. That's a lot of them dead. A lot of drones dead conversely as well. And now it looks like, I feel like HerO's just sending his entire army in this direction. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, because to be honest with you guys, Void Rays are not the best tool in the shed versus mutas. DT just stopped at the last swipe on that hatch. Last 2 swipes, if not the last swipe. 50 damage per swipe, and if he has +3 upgrades, I believe that means 65. Jaedong can't fight this head on, but at the same time, it's not GG. This is the final game. The final game. The winner goes to face off against Snoot, but who's it going to be is the real question. This base gets targeted down. Oh, man. For the time being, HerO's going to try and pull back. He's licking his wounds. He's trying to think, okay, what do I do in this position? He got his 6th base restarted. His 5th base restarted. But I mean, if we look at the banks right now, Jaedong's got a lot of minerals. If he can somehow get, but no gas. I mean, if he can get those Colossus out of the mix, he'll be in an okay position. Got to be careful with the Overseers that he has right now. Everything looks like it's mined dry in the way of gas. Indeed it is. Look. Even the main 2. That one game versus Terminator, that one ZVT between Terminator and some other guy at SPL that I remember. It happened, it was like the first day where Terminator still had gas in his main because one of the refineries was destroyed early on. Forgot to rebuild it. HerO's got gas income though. He can continue to exchange like this, I think. Trying to get that base. Is he? No! Just 2 more attacks from a zealot, and that base would have fallen. I think what will happen is HerO might go back and check the replay if he loses this game, and he could say, "This is the base that costed me the game. That is the one less zealot that costed me the game." So much of this game is riding on just one wrong move. Zealots are continuing to try and go in and harass as they may. That one Warp Prism here is doing what magic it can. But at the same time, LiquidHerO's got a very, very shot economy. Look at this main engagement, though. He's going straight for it. It looks like the mistake that Jaedong wanted HerO to make has been made. He just picked off 2 Colossus with that. That means if he has to fight with Lings, it becomes a little bit more viable. Because High Templar, even though they have AoE, it costs energy, and it's not something that's infinite. The Hydralisk Den now being targeted down here. I don't know if HerO can find a better target for the moment, so I think that's why he hit it. Now the lower right-hand corner base was taken down. Jaedong is at 200-200, making as many Hydras as he can at the last second. But at the same time, the only gas income he's going to have is going to come from distance mining. He can probably rebuild extractors with this lower right-hand corner base. This one, once again, being targeted down and out of the game. Jaedong has so many minerals, and he's got no gas income right now. Just long-distance mining is all he's got for gas. His Hydralisk Den was also sniped, so he's going to have to rebuild that, which is going to cost, again, more gas. He's rebuilding so many bases, which only costs him minerals. This game has been going now for 37 minutes, guys. If we're not past 10,000 viewers, Breaker is gonna riot. The entire chat is gonna riot if this stream does not surpass 10,000 viewers at the end of the game. Big Mouse says no. Alright, DT is coming in here, but I mean the Hydras will chase them down with the aid of the Overseers. And HerO is bleeding out units right now. There's no other way to say it. 144 supply to 199. Jaedong's got the bank. I mean, it's extremely situational, this game. But if he can get all of the Phoenixes, if he can somehow deal with all of the AoE, more the High Templar, he'll be in a magnificent position. But I feel like this game is almost nowhere near ending, at least for the next 10 minutes. All of those Hydras being picked up. All of them. All of them. Phoenix is almost cornered, but they get out. They get out. Not at the last second, but oh my god, what is this? The beautiful fungal growth! I heard them going wild, and now I see why! Oh my god, HerO just lost a huge chunk of those Phoenixes. Thank god for the Chinese casters, otherwise I would have not assumed that, guys. I apologize. That is... I think that might have been the nail in the coffin. Maybe. Oh man, and now they're laughing at jokes that I didn't understand. Dig Mouse is standing right next to me. He's smirking because he could understand it. And now if we just look at the situation, it's becoming increasingly dire for Jaedong, or rather HerO, excuse me. Double the army supply is the Donger right now. He is slated to go on to the grand finals and rematch against Snoot. For a chance at... Oh, wow, there's a Nidus behind that, but it looks like it was never used. Photon cannons. Oh, Jaedong's trying to find a way to use all those minerals, and it looks like he's found a way, a method. A how, if you will. And here might be okay. Look at this. Dives into the main with all the mutas. He's killing all of the infrastructure. This is a game that HerO does not want to let go of, but it might happen eventually. A lot of Phoenixes here. They can probably take the Corruptors head on, but they decide not to. They actually don't have the upgrades to match them at all. The Infestors nearby, burrowed, are ready to fungal growth them if they Everything in the main is gone now for HerO. Everything. Everything that has a beginning has an end, says Jade. Zealot coming here just trying to eat the extractor alive. Oh, the Infestor is in a corner, getting a nice pick off there on that Void Ray. Not too bad. Oh my god! Well, 3 Phoenixes get picked off there. Beautiful fungal growth there in the background, but at the same time, beautiful storms going down on everything that flies! It looks as though Jaedong lost a huge chunk of army there, while seriously impending his opponent's own air task force, if you will. Resources lost thus far at 58,000 to 47,000. Jaedong has exchanged far more effectively thus far. Not the situation you see every Zergan these days. Corruptors are very reluctant to fight these Phoenixes head on. If he engages this incorrectly, oh man, this is gonna eat the mutas alive. The one golden fungal he wanted to get was not there. The game carries on for another 10 minutes. This is the late game, guys. Now, I mean, honestly, look at where we have HerO. He's at +3 air attacks, but he doesn't have any upgrades for plasma shields or armor. It looks like Jaedong is just gonna stick it out over here. For the time being, he's getting... I like this run by. This utility from the Phoenixes is amazing in the late game. Day 9 should do a daily about this. Oh, man. Getting that last pick up on the drone. He cleared an entire mineral line there, so that takes Jaedong's income down substantially. Presently, HerO is a little bit oversaturated in his main... Well, I guess you'd say his new main, as well as this one over here. But nothing too terribly serious. Nice warp in here to take down this hatchery. And I think for the first time in this game, we actually see HerO in a victorious position. His opponent just doesn't have enough gas to get anti-air units out. There's only this number of mutas and corruptors, and he's going to have to fight head-on using them. But I think at the same time, we'll see HerO basically take advantage of the situation using his High Templar. He still has 3 Stargates. That's 37 workers killed thus far. These Zealots are going to come down here and take down the space yet again, but the main armies are engaging at the front lines. It looks like, I want to say, maybe HerO got the bitter end of that exchange. The final game, 45 minutes. If it makes it past the 45-minute mark, it surpasses the longest game that we have seen in the entire tournament. Run-bys continue to happen, but wait a minute. Investors looking for their opportunity to fungal some Phoenixes. Looks like was not quite fulfilled. HerO at 133 supply. If we check the army supply right now, he's actually down by about 30 units. But the the part about the advantage of Protoss is that they capitalize on exchanging, what's the word I'm looking for? More effectively than Zerg. But that's not really happening in this situation because we see Jaedong's ahead in so many ways. He's getting Ultras into the mix now, which might actually be a game changer. They can't be lifted by mutas. It might be a bad decision. It might be a good decision. And there's so many units in this Nidus right now for Jaedong. I don't think he realizes it. I can't remember how many games I played where that's actually been the situation. That's been the case, the fact of the matter, and so on and so forth. Looks like that was a DT harassing, according to the Neo TV casters, the Chinese language casters. And guess what? HerO has a third base, a source of income, and he's above Jaedong in the way of income right now. If he can take this, secure it, and stabilize, he will be in a fantastic position. Oh my god, wait a minute! Big engagement happening here. Beautiful fungal growth on a few of those Phoenixes. Next one only catches a single, but it'll be a nice pick-off nonetheless for our evil geniuses Zerg. HerO he's basically losing the lead now, I would just say at this stage. Mutas are going to be sent out in this direction to pick off whatever they can. We do, of course, have Phoenixes in production on this base, and only at this base. Well, I mean, only one Stargate is what I mean to say. Plus, the potency of +3 attack is really showing through on these mutas. Look at this. 12 damage. Jaedong's got so many larvae right now that it's like he doesn't even need queens. We don't even know if he has queens right now. He's only got this one, and it is spreading creep. Both players' fingers must be numb at this stage. 8 Ultras in production. This might be the death blow. This could be it. I mean, like, there's a lot of cannons here. There's a lot of static defenses, but at the same time, there's only 2 Archons, and Stalkers can be somewhat effective in large numbers versus Ultras, but there's just not enough here. Excuse me. This will be the defining moment. If we see HerO able to defend against these Ultras, he'll be in a great position. I think he'll be able to win. But at the same time, he's got to be able to take down all of those Ultras. All of them. Lower right-hand corner base is going to be sniped again. There's no saving it. None at all in this position. Phoenix is coming in. Getting a few more Muta pickoffs, maybe not. The fungal growths are missing. All right, here we go. All the ultras coming forward. The Phoenix is getting fungaled as well. And it looks like this is HerO's last stand. If it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be here. That's a ton of ultras. They've got +5 armor, only +1 attack. +2 is on the way. Nexus cannon goes down. The mothership core is targeted out. And I don't think the infestors are here with the main army. They're actually somewhere in back. He's actually trying to use the Phoenixes to pick them up, but that one didn't have enough energy for a fungal growth. Not just yet. More and more bases are falling in the background. 18 probes fell with that last attack. Jaedong just says, I'm going to target this base down. I don't care what you do to me. I'm going to use a few ultras to pull your attention away. And then I'm going to kill 18 more probes. And I'm going to go into your main and kill what I can with my mutas and my ultras while you deal with 1 or 2 of them. There we go. The infestors are separated from the main army, by the way, guys. So the Phoenixes, to some extent, will have almost uncontested damage on those mutas, save for the buffer zone of corruptors. And it looks like now, by some miracle, HerO holds. He only loses about 16 supply in all of this, but Jaedong loses 30-something. He's trying to make whatever he can, but Lings are not the answer, I feel. More fungal growths hitting the Phoenixes, only taking down a fraction of them. And HerO wants to push back. He says, I've taken too much damage. I have to win this game now. Oh, the fungal growths are not there just yet. They only tip a few of the stalkers, and that's it. And it looks like Jaedong is continuing to remax on ultras. They'll be in the fight very shortly. Off creep, but this looks to be HerO's last assault. HerO's last stand. I think the Dong, the Tyrant, will probably be the one to go into the grand finals. But HerO, he is not tapping out just yet. He is giving this guy one hell of a fight. Zergling's coming in here as well. I don't believe they have adrenal glands. They do not have adrenal glands, but they're going to help contribute as much damage as they can. Look at this. I'm sorry, they do have adrenal glands. Thank you, Digmouse. This is crazy. He's trying to take the bases away from LiquidHerO, but his own bank is exhausted. HerO still has some army to fight with. That's 53. The Dong does not have so much in the way of the money. Archon gets surrounded here. This is beyond words what we are witnessing. This is hands down the most epic game of the entire WEC Hangzhou tournament, guys. The workers are being lifted one at a time. Maybe HerO will be able to beat Jaedong in this scenario. There's just too many cannons for Jaedong to risk attacking this head on. The stalkers, the blink stalkers are still here. He's got to blink. He's got to blink. He's got to blink if he wants to save all of those stalkers, but it looks like eventually they will be surrounded. No corruption goes down on them. A final warpin of charge lots will help him hold his ground for just a little bit longer. My God, where is this game going? What the hell am I watching? Is what I am asking myself for the time being. Phoenix is lifting off more drones, and I think that actually was a better tip-off to Jaedong because the static defense is here, as well as the fact that the economy is stronger. There would be a good place for them to go. There's more spore crawlers at the lower right-hand corner base, so Jaedong's going to go for that instead. Income secured. 400 minerals per minute will now turn into about 800 per minute. HerO, I don't know who's winning this game anymore. I'm not calling it, but it's 120 supply to 90. 87 army to 53. Both players must have headaches by now. Here we go. That one stalker getting caught out in the open. Gonna be saved by the Archons. Archon and the rest of the army, actually. There's no income happening here. I think once HerO finds out about this, he might not be too happy. Probe's now distance mining as the main base is dry. There's a Ling to block this as well, so that's just making this all the more annoying. I think Jaedong wins this based on the fact that he has secure income. And there's almost no way for HerO to engage directly into that. The longer this game goes on, the more difficult it is going to be for HerO. Definitely. Hands down, without a doubt. He needs a detector. There we go. He's got his observer with his army now. He can build a base here. But at the same time, it's not going to happen for a while because those probes are distance mining, and the closest base is over here. It's going to take him a while to get 400 minerals. So clearly, the Tyrant is at an advantage here. It goes without saying. But there we go. More and more of them getting picked off. The missed fungal growth coming here from our HerO. Only 4 Phoenixes remaining. And I think HerO might know in the back of his head it's now or never. I got to do something. I have to attack. But I mean, these 3 spine crawlers alone and these ultras on defense, you know, Jaedong's like, come at me, bro. I know you can't attack me. He's just using the Lings to poke around the map. The reason why he doesn't initially start spamming Lings is because he wants to know for a fact that he can shut down his opponent's income. He wants to know for a fact that he has a chance to really deal with his opponent. And that Nexus is not getting built because the probes are always in the way. There we go. Jaedong now moving to the center of the map. His supply is rising. It is climbing. He's getting ultras. And I want to give a huge shout out to all 8,000 of you guys watching this stream. It really is amazing. Alright, here we go. This could be it. That's a full energy High Templar. He's trying to feed back those he's trying to feed back those infestors. It doesn't happen. A storm hits nothing. Maybe a misclick. But now Jaedong's got 4 ultras and a ton of zerglings and 3 full energy infestors. Can he make it or not? Those stalkers are all pinned to the ground. The Phoenixes are trying to do whatever harass they might do. And it looks like the ultras will prevail, and in the end, LiquidHerO will throw out the GG!